Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review brought to you by the Middleburg Film Festival. Now, this film here is currently, and I know it's only October, so it's a lot of films left. This is currently my favorite film of 2020. The name of this film is Farewell, Amor, and let's give you a quick synopsis of it. Reunited after 17 years, an Angolan immigrant is joined in the U.S. by his wife and daughter. Now, strangers sharing a one-bedroom apartment, they discover a shared love for dance that may help them overcome the distance between them. Whew, starring. I'm going to say starring because I'm not the best with names, but I'm going to try to get this right. Okay, starring first, Zainab, Ntare, Mwine, I think I said that right, and Jayme Lawson. So, first off, let me start off by saying that this film is so touching on so many levels. It's a film about family and about connection that caught me off guard when I watched it. First, I kind of thought this was a foreign film. Very first mistake I made, thinking that this was a foreign film. The second mistake I made is I didn't fully understand what I was going into. As you see this film and as the film goes along, you see the connection between the characters. Just imagine being stuck in a situation where you are able to escape a country, come to a different country, and have to leave your wife and daughter at your homeland and then bring them over to the U.S. as Mr. Mwine. I'm calling him by his last name. I think that's the one I got the best. Mr. Mumway's character in this film has already established a life without his wife and daughter. He's moved on. He's been in a long relationship with someone who pushes for him to actually bring his wife and daughter over to the country because she understood how important his family was to him and how important it was to still have that connection. And from the very uncomfortable beginning of the film in the airport where they're like kind of hugging each other, kind of trying to learn each other again, and then moving into this one-bedroom apartment, and just to have three people with all their own issues in one place and trying to come together makes this film so powerful. Mr. Mumway, his performance is so quiet and amazingly powerful in this film. Just everything he's having to deal with. Now having a teenage daughter that he has to deal with. Trying to reestablish a relationship with his wife while also understanding that he is truly in love with someone else. It's a scene in this film where when his wife goes away, it's some sheets and some clothes of the woman he was with before his wife got back that he leaves in the closet, and he pulls them out just to smell them, just to get her scent again, just to remember her again. And it was scenes like that in this film that are heartbreaking. When we get the husband and wife attempting to be intimate with one another, it feels as strange as it looks on screen. And that is a sign of amazing actors, that we feel the uncomfortableness of them attempting to engage in something that the wife blatantly says her church told her she had to do to attempt to reestablish the connection with her husband. But it's clearly two people that are complete strangers that don't really know each other anymore. And that's the key focus point of this film, is the mother and father's relationship and attempting to understand each other again. Once you spend that far time apart and you're living your own lives, how can you come back together again? While at the same time having a teenage daughter who's coming into her own, as we see Miss Jayme Lawson, as she's just going to school, she's trying to fit in, and it's her love for dancing that helps her fit in. And it helps her gain her own power, her own control. But at the same time, while she's gaining her power and her own control, her parents are completely falling apart and understanding just how hard it is to attempt to rebuild this family. If you are a fan of family dramas, if you're a fan of just well-acted pieces of work, if you're a fan of well-directed pieces of work, this film is powerful on so many levels. It's most powerful in its quiet moments where they're not really saying much anything, but you're seeing these three people move around in this one bedroom apartment trying to put space in between themselves, not understanding how it is to still be a family when you've been separated so long from each other as a family. And that's when this film is so heartbreaking and works on so many levels. By the end of this film, I was 100% convinced that if this entire cast doesn't get Oscar nominations across the board, if the director doesn't get the nomination, if it doesn't get the recognition it should get, is something wrong with everyone humanly possible. This film is great on so many levels, and it's not a flaw in this film at all. I'll start off by saying, and that is very rare to say it's not a flaw in a film. It is not a single flaw in this film. This film is great, and hopefully everyone can see it. So, Farewell Amor, out of a possible 10, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. This, I don't know if I'm going to see a film as good as this. I know later on this year we still have One Night in Miami. We still have Chicago 7. It's lots of films later on in the year that we have to see that are bringing a lot of hype with it. But I can't imagine seeing a film as good as this film was, as well acted as this film was. If anything, this film needs a Best Actor nomination. If you're going to try to skip everything else, because it's going to be a small film, I think it's either A24 film or IFC film. It's one of those studios that actually have distribution for this movie. So it's going to be a very small film. So at the minimum, it deserves a Best Actor and Best Supporting Actress nomination. At the minimum, it should get those two. If it doesn't, it's highway robbery. But check this out. Farewell Amor. Right now, I don't fully understand how they're going to distribute this movie, because with everything going on in the world, you can't really release things in theaters. And this would definitely be playing in art house theaters. But I'm going to also say possibly YouTube will be probably a good chance to check this film out, because that's a VOD platform. So possibly any VOD platform, you'll probably be able to catch this movie once it's released. And if you do catch it, please watch it. Just sit down. You may think it's not your cup of tea. It will be. Check it out. Trust me when I tell you, you'll love it. This has been another JVS movie review. Peace, people.